welcome to the What If Ask AI channel. On this channel, we ask multiple AI services what if questions. The what if questions was made back in my childhood when I was asked to put all my questions in a binder because my family was tired of me asking them all the questions I had in mind. Now, later in the future, I'm taking the questions I made from my childhood and asking the AI services the questions and reviewing and judging their responses. I hope you enjoy this channel.
And welcome back to the What If Ask AI channel. And today is a special episode. And the reason it's a special episode is because this channel has hit 100 views. And I'm very excited about that. And I'm so excited that because of that we're going to be having a special episode. And for this episode, I brought up a guest that's going to be helping us with this episode. This guest's name is Django Gamo. So Django Gamo, I'm going to ask you a few questions. So the first question I want to ask you, Django Gamo, is how did you hear about this What If Ask AI channel, and when did you start watching it?
So I heard about this channel about a couple of months ago, and I started watching it about like every week.
Okay. Awesome. So now for my second question, what would you say is your favorite part of this channel, or your favorite part of watching the videos for this
My
channel?
favorite part about the channel is how you guys been asking the questions to the AI and how it give out good responses and whatnot.
Okay, awesome. I like that as well. All right, now for the final question, because you're going to be helping us with this episode. If you had to ask the AI services one question, what would it be and why?
Okay, what if physical media started going away in 2028?
Wow, that's a good question. And I'm assuming that you probably asked that question because of what's going on in the world right now.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. And for people that might be watching this in the future, currently Sony's moving away from physical media, and it's not like a small thing, it's a major thing because, they're a major industry. And basically, what they've said as of today is that they will stop producing physical PlayStation game discs starting in the month of January of 2028. So that's going to involve shifting entirely to digital only for the distribution of new titles. So this kind of ends the era of physical media for PlayStation, and this kind of implies that it might end it for the future consoles and then also for the future companies that do handle physical media. So that means that basically the way that we watch our videos and the way that we currently listen to music, all that's going to change. We're probably not going to see any more DVDs, more CDs, or anything like that. And some people are upset about that because that kind of limits the idea of preservation of disc or games or music and stuff like that. So that's kind of what's going on. So Django Gamo, I love that question, and we're going to be asking the AI services that question today. So thank you for that. All right. So in every What If Ask AI episode, I ask the question. Today's question is, what if physical media started going away in 2028? And then I also provided 2 what if questions that have answers to help give the AI services something I'm looking for. So the AI services I'm going to be using for this episode are ChatGPT, Google Gemini, Perplexity, Duck AI, and Typefully. So let's ask ChatGPT this question right here. What if physical media started going away in 2028? So the answer for that ChatGPT provided is that would likely mark a significant shift in how people access movies, music, games, and software. Many consumers rely more heavily on digital downloads and streaming, while collectors and preservation advocates might place even greater value on existing physical media. It could also spark discussions about ownership, long-term access, and archiving of digital content. All right, now we're gonna ask Gemini that same question. What if physical media started going away in 2028? All right, here's Gemini's answer. Well, that would mark a major turning point for collectors and cinephiles everywhere, likely triggering a massive boom in the secondhand market and boutique preservation efforts. All right, now we're gonna ask Perplexity that same question. What if physical media started going away in 2028? Here's Perplexity's answer. That would likely be a big shift, and I'd say good for you if you were talking about being part of the move away from physical media. If you mean the world overall, it would probably mean more streaming, downloads, and cloud-based access, plus less demand for discs, cartridges, and other shelf items. All right, now we're gonna ask Duck AI the same question. What if physical media started going away in 2028? All right, here's Duck AI's response. If physical media started going away in 2028, a lot of people would feel both convenience and loss at the same time. Convenience because buying media would be mostly digital and instant. Loss because owning a copy, especially one that doesn't depend on an internet connection, an app, or a licensing agreement, would become harder, and some collectors and longtime fans would have less access to their favorite releases in a buy it and keep it form. Creators and businesses would also adjust. Stores would shrink or disappear. Distribution would concentrate more on streaming platforms, and labels might push harder for bundled digital services or subscription style models. Meanwhile, people who care about archiving, preservation, or nostalgia would likely shift toward digital downloads you can back up, or smaller collector ecosystems to replace what physical shelves used to provide. All right, now we're gonna ask Type Fully that same question. What if physical media started going away in 2028? All right, here's the result that Type Fully gave us. Well, that would certainly be quite impressive, and I'd represent a significant shift in how we consume media. Streaming services would dominate entirely. Physical formats like CDs and DVDs would become collector's items, and internet infrastructure would need massive updates to handle increased demand. Libraries and retail stores would transform completely. So I just read the responses that each of the AI services gave us. So Django Gamo, one thing that I do in the What If Ask AI channel is I read the AI services responses to the questions. But after I read them, I rank them based on 1 being which one was the best, and then 5 being which one was the worst. They gave the worst response. So what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to give the AI service name of the one that did the worst response. So this would be ranked number 5.
All right. I would most likely say that the second one is the worst one because it didn't really give out too much response. Like it just giving an answer and not like a whole paragraph of why, or what would happen.
Okay, that makes sense. And just for the record, the examples I provided were only one sentence responses, so that's probably why I did that. But this is based on our own intuition. So yeah, Gemini's number 5 is number 5 for that reason. What would you say would be number 4?
I'll say the third one will be number 4.
Okay, so Perplexity. And was there a specific reason?
Well, I would like to say that it has a good response, but not really that many words or an outcome that would happen.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. So that's why Perplexity is number 4. Now, which one would you say is number 3?
I would say the first one.
Okay, ChatGPT. And was there anything specific that made it number 3?
Yeah, it gives out a lot more reasons than the other two, but
Okay.
yeah, this one has a lot to say for an answer.
Okay, that makes sense. So that's why ChatGPT is number 3. And then what would you say is number 2?
The fifth one.
The 5th one. Okay. And was there a specific reason for Type Fully being ranked number 2?
Well, I was gonna say that it's mostly just all the information compiled up together, and just a lot of results
Okay,
that it had.
gotcha. So that means that Duck AI is number one. And do you want to tell us why you ranked Duck AI as number one for this question?
The reason why I rank this number one is because it gives out like a paragraph of what was gonna happen or what would happen.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, so it gave us a paragraph of what if it started to go away and the effects of it, and then it also talks about that from the creators and the business perspective as well. Okay, so yeah, so just to go over the rankings one more time, we had Gemini as number 5, Perplexity as number 4, ChatGPT as number 3, Typefully as number 2, and then Duck AI was number 1. So once again, Django Gamo, thank you so much for your time. I really enjoyed this episode. I really enjoyed talking about the question you had, and I look forward to doing this more in the future if we get up there. So thank you for your time again.
You're welcome.
All right, and thank you for everybody for watching this episode, and I'll see you in the next one.